Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl BrittReacts, and today we're gonna react to a segment from CNN. CNN, okay. This is Tesla profits plunge as Musk promises he's ready to step away from role at DOGE. Let's see what's going on here.
Tesla profits plunging tonight. Elon Musk just reporting a 71% plunge in profits. 71%. As he rails against Trump's tariffs in a call going on right now. You will hear him in his own words in a call that Outfront has just obtained. Also breaking new details on Pete Hegseth's, what he's thinking, his strategy, what he's doing. As chaos is erupting inside the Pentagon that he is leading. One person telling CNN he's in full paranoia, back against the wall mode. And Trump's baby bonus, the administration reportedly coming up with ways to push women to have more babies, including a perk like $5,000 a kid, or even a medal if you have 6 or more, which is reminiscent of some odd times in history. Let's go out front.
What? We don't want medals. We don't even want a $5,000 bonus. We want to be able to feed and house our children. We want to be able to have free health care and educate our children in good school systems. Speaking as a mother. All right, this should be interesting. You guys know I'm kind of enamored with all things around Elon Musk. A lot of you did educate me because I was completely ignorantly unaware and never trying to poke fun at the fact that he is autistic. I believe you all let me know he's on the spectrum. When I would comment about his kind of stoic, just kind of direct manner, which was never an issue for me. I just thought it was funny that people all around him would be laughing and he just flat out tell you how it is. And now it kind of makes all the sense in the world. I mean, why would I ever make fun of him? The man's a freaking billionaire genius, way smarter than I'd ever be. But I've just kind of been enamored about his role in the government, his role in all the other things that he plays kind of prevalent roles in. I'm using the word roles a lot. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Let's see what happens.
$5,000 a kid, or even a medal if you have 6 or more, which is reminiscent of some odd times in history. Let's go out front.
The Olympics.
Good evening, I'm Erin Burnett, and out front tonight, the breaking news. Elon Musk's empire suffering a major blow tonight with profits plunging more than 70%. And Musk, just moments ago, in a call that we've obtained, admits this reason as to why.
There's been some blowback for the time that I've been spending in government with the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. There are some challenges, and I expect that this year will be there'll probably be some unexpected bumps this year.
How did you get access to
this earnings call that's going on right now from Tesla? There will be more bumps, he says, because even though Musk tonight said he is keeping his word and stopping his full-time work for Trump and DOGE next month, which he is required to do with his role as a special government employee, right? So that's what he's already said he was going to do. The truth is, the headline may not be that he's stepping aside as he was saying he was due. It's actually that he is not going anywhere.
I'll continue to spend, a day or two per week on government matters for as long as the president would like me to do so.
A day or two a week? I mean, 2 days a week out of 5, I mean, you get it, right? That's 40%. That's a lot of time. I mean, that would mean for roughly the next 3.5 years, if Trump wants him around, Elon Musk is going to be in the Oval Office with Trump a couple days a week. Now, that's obviously significant. And Elon is...
Imagine having a part-time role in a very significant department of the government. Obviously people have part-time goals, but part-time roles, but I'm just imagine he can I don't know, that's just so interesting to me that he can be yeah, I'll just show up once or twice to the White House and do my job. Okay, so yes, apparently, after the first 100 days, it was always understood that Elon would step back, I guess is what you guys have let me know in the comments. I don't know if that's fact or not. I haven't looked into it, but a lot of you were saying that. It's interesting because I haven't heard anything about him saying tariffs are to blame for the Tesla thing, which is a part of her opening was the tariffs. So that's interesting. I mean, there's still tons of this interview, or this is not an interview. How did they get access to this phone call is the question. As someone who tries to react to both sides of the coin as far as politics, meaning red, blue, conservative, and liberal, it is just always shocking to me how different the reporting is. And also upsetting to know that, I mean, my family, my friends will only watch one side of the reporting because it is, I mean, it's just so clear how biased and how like the smirk on her face kind of tells you where she stands. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like the same thing over on the like Fox News or what have I been watching? Lefties Losing It on Sky News. Like it's just so clear as day to me. And I just, it's such an interesting thing. It's something that before I started kind of getting more involved in what's going on in our nation and our world, I just never really paid attention to. It's like, okay, the news is on, and immediately my brain would shut down because the news to me is so sad and depressing. But okay, let's keep going and see where we're going with this. But essentially he's saying, there's a lot of blowback because of my role in DOGE. That's paraphrasing it. And I don't think anyone could deny that we're watching that happen. Like, people are not wanting to buy Teslas. People are protesting Tesla. People are damaging private owners' Teslas. They're not just like going to the lots. They're like keying people's cars at the nail salon, which is asinine to me. And he's admitting there's been suffering. I haven't heard the 71% plunge. She keeps saying you'll hear him say this, so I assume it's a quotable.
Couple days a week. Now that's obviously significant. And Elon is speaking on this Tesla call, spoke for a majority of the call, in fact, which began about 90 minutes ago. And just to be very clear,
they were still on the
Elon
call when
Musk
she was
being on the
reporting
call
this
and talking for as long as he has, right? So we're now talking 90 minutes or so this has been going on, is not a business as usual thing. He does not usually get on this call and talk. In fact, in 2021, he said this.
I think going forward, I will most likely not be on earnings calls unless there's something really important that I need to say.
Why do we have access to these
calls? Well, there is
calls?
something really important that he needs to say right now. Musk's image as the world's wealthiest man has taken an unprecedented hit in an unprecedentedly short period of time. From his controversial behavior at Trump events like Inauguration Day to revelations that he has a lot more children than his known 13 that did not come from some sort of a tabloid. It came from the Wall Street Journal. And beyond his reputation and image, Musk has lost more than $130 billion since Election Day because of the damage he has done to Tesla's brand by tying himself so directly to Trump and by DOGE. And many investors...
Okay, so she's now going further and saying it is not just his ties to DOGE, but some of his awkward, some would say inappropriate behaviors. A lot of you wanted to argue with me weeks ago when I, referenced what we just saw here, the gesture he was making, that it wasn't intentional. And people are so stupid. Like, why would he do that? And he has some of you were leaning into his diagnosis. And I'm here to tell you that if you put this on pause and just look at it on loop the way that the media was playing it, there's only one conclusion people are going to make. And when people don't like someone, y'all, they're not going to dig for things to find out whether it's true or not. They're going to take what they see at face value. That's just the fact of the matter. And that was a damaging thing. And it was damaging because then the news took it and ran with it. And it was a big deal for a lot of people. And then this whole situation with his private life and how many children he's fathered. Another thing some of you really wanted to defend him on, if he's a billionaire and he can afford it, it's like affording children is a fraction of what it takes to be a parent. The bigger fraction is emotionally, spiritually, and presently being involved. And I don't know anything about Elon's life with his children, but I can't imagine a man that's got this going on in 5 different households with his seeds in it, that he is as involved as a father could or should be. But I don't know. I don't know him. A lot of you must know him personally because a lot of you were defending that part of him. So y'all must be on his nanny board or something. I don't know. You're like, he's got the one with him at the Oval Office. I'm like, yeah, Yeah. Why is that child at the Oval Office? Why is there a child hanging out at the Oval Office? Is that supposed to make me feel like that man is taking care of his 27,000 kids? Okay. Anyway, all of these things have tarnished his, before this, kind of mysterious image. He just was this billionaire tech guy that was mysterious to all of us. We didn't really know a lot about his personal life. And now, he's attached to Trump. And anyone, I think, who's attached to Trump has the ability to find themselves fully put out there. And so she's saying that Aaron is saying that is also affecting the bag. His bag is becoming smaller. $130 billion since January. I'd throw up. I would throw up every single day.
To Tesla's brand by tying himself so directly to Trump and by DOGE. And many investors on that Tesla earning call have lost a lot of money because of Musk this year.
Not just him.
Tesla shares have been cut almost in half. In fact, since Election Day, when you look at the highs then, which may be why Musk did something really important on this call. When he talks about something important to say, perhaps nothing more important than this, keeping up his fight against Trump's tariffs.
Tariffs will, tough on a company when margins are still low. I just want to emphasize that the tariff decision is entirely up to the President of the United States. I will weigh in with my advice with the President, which he will listen to my advice, but then it's up to him, of course, to make his decision. I've been on the record many times as saying that I believe lower tariffs are generally a good idea for prosperity. But this decision is fundamentally up to the elected representative of the people, being the President of the United States. So, I'll continue to advocate for lower tariffs rather than higher tariffs, but that's all I can do.
Two things. I guess I'm eating crow, and I have no problem admitting it. I have joked for quite a few weeks now about the fact that I feel like Elon is the one who's actually sitting in the president's seat at the Oval Office, and how it feels like he has a big influence on Trump. And here he is blatantly and very clearly saying, like, he listens to my advice, but that doesn't mean he's going to take it. Like, essentially saying, like, he respects me, I respect him, but he's not always inclined to do what I advise. And I mean, okay, shut me up. I don't mind being wrong. The other thing I want to say, again, to kind of the bias in reporting, is it is made to seem like, the way Aaron is reporting this, like Elon is like, the tariffs are bad. I've been telling you, like, I'm against the tariffs. And that's not what this man just said. This man is like, for the wealth and health of everyone in my business, perhaps, because he obviously has interest in that, I do believe lower tariffs are better. I've said this to the president, but it is totally up to him. He didn't blame tariffs, which is the way she's reporting it, which again is just something I notice because I react to different sources, and it's just like so obvious, and it's upsetting. It's like, why can't reporting just be truthful and not lean toward agendas, and that goes both ways. I want to keep saying that. I feel that way about both types of reporting. All right.
Lower tariffs rather than higher tariffs, but that's all I can do.
I mean, that's clear and it's measured. It's a lot more calm than calling Peter Navarro dumber than a bag of bricks, which is what he called him on his social media platform recently on the tariff issue. And I want to go now to Dan Ives, Peter Tuchman, and Alexis Glick, all back with me. So, Dan, you were able to hear that call. Elon doesn't usually get on that call. Yeah. That's the whole point. And he's on, and he's being very, very calm in what he's saying. But obviously, profits plunging 71%. And there's a reason for that, right? And that reason is him and Trump and DOGE.
I mean, this was a moment of truth for Musk. Because on this call, and I think he did a great setup, I mean, this was really, investors are massively frustrated. In our opinion, it was a fork in the road. He basically had to recommit to Tesla and sort of take a huge step back from DOGE. And that was something that he did. And I ultimately believe this is really the beginning of the end of how he's going to be with the Trump administration, because the brand damage
Yeah.
We think it's 20% in terms
20%.
of permanent
Permanent
brand damage
brand
potentially
damage.
from this.
Ooh.
And the reality is, when you look at Tesla, and Tucker and I have talked about it, it's not just the brand damage, the tariffs as well. It's sort of been a 1-2 punch, and that's why Musk had to be a much different Elon Musk on that conference call
than he's been. The bag of.
I won't be eating crow on the fact that I told y'all this little bromance we got going on is not going to last very long. It's not going to last very long because, listen, anyone with a sense of common, as in common sense, is going to go and protect everything they've built and all the money they've accrued and protect that over. This man had a lot of mouths to feed, okay? A lot of children to feed, a lot of employees to pay, a lot of investors to keep happy. Of course, you know what I mean? Like, this was never going to be a long, I never believed it. I never believed it. There was going to be a moment where they had to disagree about something, or something like this had to happen. And the other things I wanted to touch on is, someone mentioned in the comments, right? Like, another thing that I'm always like, dang, these are things I never think about. When you think about the people that drive electric vehicles, in the beginning, especially before every kind of vehicle was an electric vehicle, most of the people that drove these vehicles drove them because they cared about the environment, or they had some at least sense of an awareness of the pollution that gas-fueled cars add into the atmosphere. And so people were buying Teslas because they wanted to have a good footprint on the world. And most of those people, maybe I shouldn't say most, that's a big generalization. A lot of those people, you guys, are Democratic voters. These are the global warming people. These are, you know, the tree huggers of them all, the liberal people. And perhaps you've upset them being such a big part of this administration, you being Elon, and being the face of Tesla means Tesla goes down with that. These people are, you know what I mean? They just don't like it. And I guess I never thought about, like, diehard electric car drivers. I drive a hybrid. I don't drive a full electric vehicle. And I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I were driving a Tesla and I felt really strongly about the mission or the cause, and then felt also unaligned with Elon's mission and cause at DOGE. I don't know what I would do. I don't know, guys. I didn't buy my Jeep as a hybrid. I didn't go in intentionally and buy a hybrid. It just was the car that I wanted, and Jeep started making hybrids, and I was like, oh, heck yeah. Anyway, all right, let's keep going.
It's got to be a much different Elon Musk on that conference call than
he's been, the bag of bricks and all of that.
Than a typical Musk.
And so it's interesting you say that, and yet, Alexis, he is also saying, but I'm not done my work. And as long as he wants me there 1 to 2 days a week, which is a lot of time, I'll be there.
It's not a lot of time.
He was very clear in indicating that. But the interesting thing, the point on the 1-2 punch here, right, is that he was very honest about protests, about implications on the brand. And to your point, he was also very contrite. I mean, he really was being very honest and forthright with investors, and honest and forthright about his intent to stay 1 to 2 days a week in this DOGE role as long as the president needs him. Yeah. The thing here right now, as you guys know, is what's so incredibly important is for leaders of business and industry to be sharing back with the president in either earnings calls or in one-on-one meetings like you saw yesterday with the major retailer CEOs, for him to fully understand what are the implications day to day on the tariffs, on not knowing where your supply chain is, pricing, SKUs, margins, account receivables, payables, hiring, firing, hearing that day in and day out in a swan song from all different industries is starting to take effect.
Yeah. I mean, Peter, look, we'll whip the whiteboard out for you. Here's Elon, okay? Here's Elon.
Oh, she's a lefty.
Here's X on his shoulder, okay? Elon owns 12.8% of Tesla. All right, 12.8%. Tesla's down how much this year? We were just looking at it. 40%. 71%. So how much money has he lost? We were just calculating this. Let's look it up. Okay, so $73 billion.
Oh,
$73 billion
Oof.
lost by Elon and his descendants.
I think it's important to note one thing.
She didn't need the whiteboard. That was
everybody
unnecessary.
needs to come together and start sharing. Look, this has been a problem of messaging. From the beginning, right? Or whether it's the president, the reason that the market took the hit it did was all about the way that they disseminated the information from the beginning. If they had come into the market, markets can handle virtually anything if they're given it, if it's being fed to them in a way that they can
manage and project.
They can manage it. Except this was almost a perfect storm. I don't think anything changed from yesterday, except maybe there's some happy dust that was dropped over the White House, because suddenly everybody changed their tune. Besant came out and said that, you know what, that this aggressive negative narrative around tariffs is unsustainable. And if we don't, almost accepting responsibility, right, that we've messaged wrong, and we're going to have to change that to change everything. And then Elon Musk, he doesn't care that he lost $73 billion because that's been happening for a while.
Right.
It's almost as if everybody, whether it's, it's almost like a bipolar person who took their medication. Everybody came out with a completely different message today. The president did it, Elon Musk did it, and Besant did it. And the market read all of that, and it responded favorably. It's a huge difference
but
from one day to the next.
The whipsaw is insane.
But I would add to Tuchman, I think he did a great job. The walls are caving in. Because at the end of the day, the 10-year, the dollar, gold, markets, how many deals on the table? 0. So you could talk.
Trade deals you're talking about.
Trade deals.
Yep.
So you could talk, and that's why you're seeing, as you talked about, trying to get data out, because at the end of the day, the market is basically saying.
They're suddenly listening to all the, to your point, they're suddenly listening to everything.
This lady hasn't said a word.
And they are pivoting. This is a major pivot.
It is a pivot.
It's 1,000-point market
They won't
pivot,
let her talk.
and it's 1,000-point messaging pivot from all three of these people.
I am extremely interested to see what you guys have to say about, especially like the last 2 minutes of that segment. About the tides changing, the marketing, the messaging changing, and then the stock market having, I guess, a turnaround. It sounded like it was favorable. I'm interested. I'm really interested. All of this is really, for me, like personally, remove the reactor, okay? Remove the, sometimes I think we're not able to be human, us content creators. Like, remove that for a second. I'm just a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, I'm a taxpayer. Like, learning these type of things I've never been interested in before, things I've never been aware of before, things I've never thought of before, and learning them now at my big old age, and learning them, not saying I'm taking any of this as fact or face value, but just being enlightened and informed on it can be overwhelming. And so, again, I want to reiterate, I don't watch, a reaction is a reaction. I watch a moment in time of something, and I'm simply reacting to that right there. That's it. I don't have all of the answers. I don't think I have all the answers. I don't know all the facts. I don't think I have all the facts. But I also love to read your comments and your feedback and your opposition and what you think is facts, because it just only allows me to understand like how our world is working, how the division is working, because there's a great divide. And I think everyone should seek to at least be a little more aware. So, talk to me in the comments. Keep it kind as always. If you can't keep it cute, put it on mute. Go and have the day you deserve.